All right, my loves, welcome back to our channel. We are here with another episode of Married at First Sight, season 12, and you are watching us on our channel, Joe and Zar, and I hope if you are watching us, you bust down and subscribe because it don't cost you nothing, okay? So we're growing our channel in love and light, and I hope you guys are on the journey with us. So we're talking all things Married at First Sight, okay? Season 12, episode 4. Now, this episode opens up with them. Okay, it's the night of their wedding. So everybody's getting ready. I mean,
getting ready for bed. Yeah, you're right.
Am I right?
Everybody getting ready for bed.
Oh, no, it's the day after the first night because everybody woke up and had to go talk to everybody's parents.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so everybody wakes up. They go and talk to each other's parents, whatever the case may be. And, you know, they're in the bed next day. And you get to see their interactions after having slept one night with each other. Which, one thing I really thought was really cool was that nobody was super weird about sleeping in the bed with their spouse. And you know how sometimes we have all these random nuances or people have all these random feelings about how they're going to deal with, you know what I mean?
Well, it's not random because they
don't know each other.
Yeah, they don't know each other. They are uncomfortable, which they should be. Because let me tell you, watching how comfortable Virginia was, that would alarm me.
Why didn't it alarm him?
You should have a certain level of uncomfortability about sleeping with an absolute stranger. And the way she was just...
Yeah. It was a way of life for her.
Yes, clearly.
It was an absolute way of life. And I thought he was kind of almost being Me Too'd by her.
Well, he was drunk. I mean, you know, he was tipsy.
Think he was down too?
Because he was just, his cheeks was rosy.
Yeah, they were.
He was, you know, was, I think we'll obviously get into this further into talking about this, but we got to take in context the totality of the night and the situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to talk about people was surprised that Chris did what he did, and I knew Chris was drunk.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Let's go there. You want to go there? We can go there. Because that was the next scene anyway, which was funny because Lifetime really does know that Chris and Paige are carrying this season. They already
100%. Because that's why they're 70% of the show.
Let's be honest. Chris must be really good for TV some way, somehow, right? So they go in and it's a scene. Chris is obviously sending mixed signals to Paige. And he just ghosts her. So she said...
Wait. We mulled over that. He sent mixed signals to Paige?
You don't think he sent a mixed signals?
Explain what you... I was...
Okay, what I'm saying is... And this...
Because he made it very clear to me that he wasn't in the Paige. So that's why I stopped you.
Well, I'm saying that he had sex with Paige, right? And which...
That's not a mixed signal to me.
He had sex with Paige and then turned around and told her that you ain't cute. And
he told her she wasn't cute before he had sex with her.
No, I think it was the other way around.
They were talking after the wedding and he said, I'm not used to dating, you know what I'm saying, your type and all that. All that stuff he said, that was a red flag, no?
Okay. I'm going to go with you there.
Talking about his ex for the 2 seconds after walking from down the aisle.
But I don't think he had actually said that he found her unattractive.
He said it in so many words when they was talking at that table.
But it's not I hear what you're saying. Interpret that.
Okay.
You are, a man of your words. Use them. And he did eventually. But before he used them, he used his ding-a-ling. So what he did was him and Paige, did the daggone thing. And then... he ghosts her. He just goes away for she said at 9:00 he went downstairs to get menus. This is not funny. At 9:00 he went downstairs to get menus. And then an hour and some change later, she's like, hello, where are you? Calling his phone, everything like that. This man actually had a panic attack because he's unattracted to this woman. He had an actual
he had to check in with his actual fiance.
No, something is going on here. And we really going to... I don't know what's going on with my wig today, but...
It don't look like Paige's, though. How about that?
It really don't, because she's still laid up in here. But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that I felt like him going through that with her twice, they had sex that night, and then they had sex again in the morning, was just... Okay, let me slow down. Because after watching this, I watched this episode twice. When we watched it together, and me and him paused it, we talked shit, all that stuff like that. But then I sat and was like, all right, let me get ready for you guys. And I watched it again, and it's very clear to me that Paige is the problem. And because, to your point, he said too many things for him to get some pom-pom.
Way too many things. But that is also part of why I think we can't mull over the context of the situation. Because Paige was tipsy just like Chris was tipsy. So the reason why she so quickly forgot all of the fuck shit that he said to her was because she got in the bed next to a warm body after having too much tequila as well. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was so, I can't believe he slept with her and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can believe he slept with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not act like this. He the first guy or girl in the world to have sex with somebody and it not mean a goddamn thing to them. You know what I mean?
But I think he was a little bit taken aback. I would love to know, like, see her from his eyes, because it's not that I find her unattractive, but I do find her unkept. And I think that, you know what I mean? Because I think that anybody, people say all the time is that, like, you know, you're not ugly, you broke. And because if you got a couple coins, you know how to judge yourself. You know what I mean? To start looking like something, whatever the case may be. But what I'm getting at is that I feel like this is a her problem. Then, y'all, and I might be skipping stuff, but we just going to go with it. Then she goes down and tells his parents that this, to me, was the ultimate... Bounds. This to me solidified that this is a her issue. Because one thing is like, what did you think his parents was going to say to you? After you just met this man and you're sleeping with him on the first day that you met him, after he sat up in your face, talked about his fiance to you and every other mother jumper that could listen, and then told your friends, which, where was they at? Did they not tell you that? I swore they told her that.
No, they didn't tell her. They didn't, because I remember we was watching it and you say, why didn't they tell her?
But she really was puzzled.
And I said that I wasn't. I said that I was on board with them not telling her because it was still her wedding day. He shouldn't have told her. So, you know. See,
okay. So I don't have no. I take issue with them not telling her because she don't. If your man said something, right, that you weren't sure about, you would be like, all right, on the wedding day, this is not the time. But this is a stranger I'm meeting. Anything he say to you, you need to come back and tell me, because that could be a red flag for me or whatever the case may be.
It's too late. You just got married. Like, what are you gonna do? Go home?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that in order to get
you saying on principle?
I'm saying to get a good picture of the human being that I'm going to.
I'm saying that on your wedding day, an hour after you just left the altar is not the time to tell you that. I wouldn't have told you either. You know what I'm saying? If we was close friends, you know what I mean?
And because what am I going to do? That won't tell you certain things.
But you see what I'm saying? But how can that change your? How? What is that going to do for the rest of your night? Like, you know what I mean?
No. You're absolutely right. And I love Paige's demeanor when she came back and was having a conversation with Chris. Like, what is going on? Whoop-de-boop. Even after he told her, like, she was just like, you know, we made these vows and I understood that we were going to go through some things, but you have to communicate with me. And I thought I enjoyed how she handled that situation because she was annoyed by some things.
As she should have been,
And she wanted to address it and still give him space to feel how he felt, but also set some boundaries. Like, hold up.
Yeah.
Even though she ain't got no boundaries. Like, you know what I mean? You want to give a boundary about that, but not about giving up some pom-pom?
And then going to his parents and talking about it because you felt like you needed to defend yourself. You felt like you needed a reason as to why it was weird that he wasn't into you. But that was an insecurity thing to me.
That's what you're absolutely right. Because this is after he told you exactly why he left.
Exactly why.
He told you why.
Yes.
He's not attracted to you. So now you're going to go to his mama and ask her, because she be the barometer for whether or not his, ding-a-ling going to go up or down for you.
Right. Yeah, that was just too much.
Do you know how cringy it was to watch that?
Super cringy.
But the dad going to say, well, I think you beautiful.
The dad, in reality, the dad didn't say nothing wrong. He just already has given us a creeper impression. So him.
That's true, babe.
It was just a little awkward. That's all. True.
But I do think that, like, I mean, how did you feel about the mom's response? Like, well, he was drunk, so.
I thought she was accurate and dead on. Like, come on, y'all. Like you said up here. What was the purpose of you bringing this information into the situation? Well, he just had sex with me, so and then we did it again.
But then we did it.
What was you know what I'm saying? And any reasonable human being would have not been surprised to go, okay, y'all slept together the night after. You know what I'm saying? And also, he said he was not attracted to you. He didn't say he was gay. He said, I don't think you're cute. Like, you know what I mean?
So what why are you so litigated with this?
Yeah, like it's like it just didn't make no sense how he managed to get his pecker picking. It just didn't make no sense. Like, come on. I just don't. Like,
but then, y'all, I can't with this entire story. I just cannot because it gets worse, and I feel like we should circle back. But I do feel like the way that they have this scene where he's talking to his parents, and he just was really livid that she even had that conversation with them. Like, he could not understand it. Like, you could see he genuinely was like, is this for real?
Yeah.
And and as much as I hate siding with this guy, but I just feel like she was wrong in that moment.
Yeah.
You don't even know these people.
First of all, she make it hard. Like,
she make it hard.
If y'all watched any of our reviews last season, mm-hmm. Neither one of us got a problem tearing in. I don't just randomly cape for dudes. I was tearing the one dude up last season. You know what I'm saying? I wanna reprimand Chris for some of his failures in this situation, but she makes it so hard. Like, in the same scene where she's talking about how it's so weird that Chris isn't attracted to her, she is sitting there
as if
with this thing mm-hmm. on top of her head that mm-hmm. most people would call hair mm-hmm. or a wig. Mm-hmm. The joint is lopsided.
It was lopsided.
It's like coming at you like something out of Stranger Things. It's just like she looks disheveled and she looks like
sweaty.
She's never. I mean, it was just and in the same sitting. While she looking like that, she like, I just don't understand. Like, he said he's not attracted to me, and it was weird, and da 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 da. And I'm looking at her say this like, who can blame? Like, what? Have you looked in the mirror and saw? Because to me, it's just about how you present yourself, and I feel like you don't even present yourself in a way that it would just be so asinine for somebody to say, oh, they not into you or they not attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we're getting with Chris, we're getting into this weird double standard world where he's upsetting the apple cart because he's saying that he's not attracted to her. He doesn't find her attractive, but he's a well put together dude. Whether you think his face is cute or not, how he presents himself is put together. Because I done seen the comment, Chris ain't even that cute. And but
let's be clear.
And it's not about that.
But it's not.
It's not about that because I feel like
I agree. I do agree.
I feel like if Chris was a well put together woman with her life is together, her professional career is together, every time she walk out the house, it's not a hair in place, her shoes is shining. Nobody would be upset with her if she looked at a man who looked disheveled and looked like he never met a barber before in his life and go, that's weird that why would she say she's not attractive? Like, we wouldn't be giving her the same energy. If Chris, now we know enough to know that Chris operates in a certain level of quality in every aspect of his life. We know that he's financially sound. We know he has good jobs. We know he has a good headspace as an individual, as a business person. We know physically how he presents himself, how he likes to have himself together, right? If Chris was Karen Civil, we wouldn't be expecting her to be down with any old Joe Schmo and Kenny from Seafood, right? We would expect her to want a man who is just as physically put together as she is. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I can't get with a lot of the hate that's coming Chris's way. Because I feel like if Chris was a woman, nobody would be doing it.
The issue is that we in the age of social media. We already know a little bit too much about Chris as a human
we
being.
know a lot about
and I
Chris.
think that has a lot to do with it too.
Yes.
Because the reality is, this is not the first time a man or a woman on Married at First Sight wasn't attracted to the person that they see on
and
the
it's
other
not going to
side.
be the last.
And it won't be the last, right?
And it's okay. I feel like some people are scared to. I feel like the one guy from it might have been last season or season before last. I feel like he was doing all of this weird stuff, and everybody was criticizing him because nobody could figure out why. And I feel like I knew the whole time that he just wasn't attracted to her, but he was afraid to say it because he didn't want to get eviscerated on, because he clearly had watched the show before. And I feel like he's seen the backlash that people, especially men for some reason, get when they say they're not attracted to somebody. And so I feel like he did all this fuckboy shit, which I'm not saying that was okay, but I feel like the reason behind it was,
or it came off that way.
It came off that way because he was too afraid to communicate to 30 million viewers that he's not attracted to this person. 30. Well, I don't know, maybe 3.
You know what I mean? But no, I think you're absolutely right, and I think the more this story unfolds, at least in the last few episodes, the more I'm kind of like, not side-eyeing her. I'm not saying that you gotta be, I don't want her. The thing is that Paige has a fantastic personality.
Yeah.
That's very clear. She's obviously very accomplished. However, I do believe that when you showing up and meeting anybody for the first time, see, I know y'all, that's why my wig look like this right now, right? But if I didn't know you, I would be coming beat down, hair done, all that stuff like that, right? And I just feel like, even for it to be her wedding day, I didn't think she looked good. And that's just being, respectfully, I just didn't think she looked good. I thought she looked disheveled then.
Yeah.
And it was her wedding day. Her wig looked like this right now. The one I got on right now, that's what her wig looked like on her wedding day. You know what I mean? And it's like, to me, I don't want this to be a thing about her looks, but I do want to call out that he was honest. You know what I mean? It was after sleeping with her. He did want to feel some kind of closeness to her. And I don't believe that. I just believe he wanted to get his little thing wet. Let's keep it honest. You know what I mean? I don't believe he was looking to get closer to her. I think that your mind was made up. You know what I mean? And for some people, looks are that important. But I want to put a pin on that because we got to get through all the parents and everything like that. So, Clara and Ryan. Okay, so Clara, you guys know, is the flight attendant. Ryan is the young black man. Okay, and I also was thinking about this and how, like, I've been seeing a lot of places how people talk about him, not being black like this, but black like this. And I think we should stop having that conversation.
What do you mean?
I think that Black people aren't a monolith. Yeah. And we should be in a space where we should be okay to be, like, if he identifies a certain way, I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. I think we're confused, though, because his parents and his brother are just the complete opposite.
Yeah, but also we know that mixed people sometimes lean heavily one way or another. And he just identifies with his whiter side, I guess.
If his side is whiter.
I don't know.
Because he look a little, his father did not look white.
I don't see it, but he claims he claims that he got a, right? He claims that he has
No, you're absolutely right. But I'm saying, like, I think the narrative around him has been a real fascinating one. But I don't want us to get, like, caught up in the fact that, he is a black man. I don't know
that he knows that.
And I don't even know if he ever said it.
No, like, he's never said it.
Like, not that you should be like, I'm a black man, but, like, people say stuff like that, don't they?
But he's done. He doesn't embrace. It's clear that he's not. He just leans to his other side.
But Clara sits down with his family. Clara's not very religious, and his family is religious. And she said she went to Bible school for a year, and it just turned her off. So now she's not a part of organized religion at all. And she was a little bit worried that his family, who was very warm and nice, his mother was fantastic, that his family would be, kind of trying to push that lifestyle on her. And I just thought that was a little bit like, you think way too much of yourself.
Yeah.
We got in our own damn relationship. Girl, anybody worry about y'all?
Yeah. Not only that, but if you're just kind of like not into it, then what does it matter? Like, you know what I mean? If you're not into it, why would you have a problem with his family being into it?
That's what I didn't get. And I don't know if that's necessarily what she's saying, but I felt like that was kind of what she was getting at when she
like
said
you
that,
can just do your thing.
Like, I don't know if this is going to work for me. And it's just like, sis, just, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that deep. Yeah. But he's, but he sits down with her family. Mm-hmm. He sits down with her family. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He sits down with her family, and I thought this was a really good and insightful. Now, her parents are still married and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And he was such a gentleman, but he asked him, like, is there something that I have to worry about? And the mother said, we haven't really given her the tools to communicate effectively with her spouse, mm-hmm. because the parents don't communicate with each other. Mm-hmm. Is basically what I was picking up from Mama. Yeah. But they also don't believe. But then she went on to say she doesn't believe in divorce, and I thought that was some BS. So you don't believe in communication, but you also will be in a miserable marriage.
I think her belief in I think there's two folds here. Her belief in divorce, a lot of times that's a religious thing. So she was probably just saying, like, this is my religious.
Oh, I want to say something real mean, but go ahead.
What?
I was going to curse. Go ahead.
I think that was just from their religious background. Most of the time it is. She didn't really say that, but I'm just guessing most of the time that's what that is. And then I thought it was big of her to communicate that she might have some shortcomings as a parent. That her daughter picked up, because most parents will not do that, especially from our parents' generation. They don't admit wrongdoings, especially in their parenting at all. Most of them don't.
But I do think that it was really cool that she I do love that the parents had said that and everything like that. But I also, and it's very clear that the mama has gone to therapy, because even the way she said it, was very like, I'm aware of
she's
what
now
I've
aware.
done.
Yes,
you know what I mean. But I do think, like Clara was talking about how she feels like she doesn't communicate very well, and she was in a relationship and it was really like snarky with each other or whatever the case may be. But she called herself non-confrontational. And she don't give me that at all. Like, she got a little too much mouth.
She doesn't give me that either.
To be a mother jumper who non-confrontational. She give me one of those people who say smart stuff and then hide their hands. Yeah. Like, oh my God. And then they play the victim. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Because she do a little bit too much of this for me. And I really almost don't like talking about them, because something about her spirit do not sit right with me. And you know what, low-key? She might be a spawn of the devil. That's probably why that Bible school stuff wasn't working for her. You know what I mean? She probably hit the church and it was getting a little hot. You know what I mean?
Probably so.
And I feel like, because something about her spirit, and y'all bust down and tell us what you think, but y'all don't think her spirit is off? Something ain't right with her.
Well, she just seems like she's a little for everybody, as does Virginia. But I feel like Ryan and Clara is probably going to be the couple that stays together out of all of these couples.
Honestly, I think they all got a fighting chance except for Paige and Chris.
Yeah.
I
think everybody is doomed. I think everybody's doomed, but Ryan and Clara in my book.
Yeah, I don't see it, because I think he's gonna get tired of her ass, because he said it. You can even see him in the thing, like, she got a lot of energy. She doing too much.
Oh yeah, like, yeah. But I think he's gonna go along to get along. He gives me that vibe.
I don't know that he gives me that vibe, because he's never been in love. So I don't know that he gives me the vibe that he's of the belief that, like, he could, like, that patience, that taking that time, that getting to know.
I didn't say he would be the world's best spouse. I just said he's going along to get along, because he just gives me that vibe. Like, okay, he gives me that vibe that that's the type of person that he'll be in a relationship. He don't have to be in love to be that. Like, we have friends who are different people from their everyday life once they get in a relationship. And he gives me that vibe that, like, she might be annoying the hell out of him, but I mean, look how it was. Like, he claimed that she was, out of all the annoying things that she did, he was just smiling and right with it the whole time.
That's true, though.
So the proof is in the pudding so
far.
But
you know what? What you love is what you hate. I know you wasn't ready for that one.
I don't know.
Oh my God. I don't even. That's knowledge, bro. Okay. The things you love about a mother jumper will turn around and be the things you hate. You be like this just turns my stomach now. But you know, I'm just speaking from I lived a life. But so now what's the other people? Okay. Was it Brianna and Vincent? No, Virginia and Eric. So Virginia and Eric sit down with their families. Eric talks to Virginia's family and just lets them know that he's second time married. Her father understood. She comes from a family of that or whatever the case may be. And I thought it was super cool how he received him. And I actually think that her father likes the fact that he's older, likes the fact that he's a little bit more stable. And you know what I mean? And he really didn't have anything to say about him being a divorcee or whatever the case may be. But he told him straight up, like, she's a drunk and an alcoholic. You seen how she was with her girlfriends.
They know.
She don't know how to act.
Yeah, they know.
Do y'all think she's an alcoholic or am I going too far?
No, I think she is. I think they know that she for everybody though.
She for everybody.
She out here in the streets and she been living a life. And I think that they were just trying to kindly let him know that.
They was warning him?
Yeah.
So she sits down with Eric's family. And the mom just was like, she asked him, like, well, does he ever, like, get wild or anything like that? Like, what? Like, as if the mother would know the answer to that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I don't understand.
Because that's what she's looking for. And that just shows how they got an expiration date already. Because that's what she's looking for. She want to go out. She want to run the streets and all that, everything like that, which... For her age, she right where she's supposed to be.
But she should be coming up on the slowing it down now.
I mean,
at 26,
who
you kind of get to the place where you working a 9 to 5. You can't hang like you used to hang. You like at 26. No. After 25, you just about like, all right, I'm here.
I think it's more common that she's doing what she's doing,
maybe
where she's at.
And that is young.
And I think
that's young.
That's gonna come to a head at some point, and that's gonna be the explosive part. Because he don't strike me as that type at all. He's the opposite. Very stable. Seems like he's very family oriented. He's trying to fly straight.
Yeah.
And Netflix and chill, and she want bar hop.
But I do like that. I do think, though, like in a later scene, he kind of sits down with her and they have the conversation about like not partying all the time and like, how his life slowed down and everything like that. And she was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be like not drinking. Like, why would I do that or whatever the case may be. And he said something that I thought was so poignant. Like, you wanted to be married. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why you signed up for this.
He said
it very pointed. You wanted to be married. So if this is going to interfere with our relationship, you do whatever you want to do so long as it don't interfere with us. But remind yourself that you wanted this. And I thought that was such a polite way to put her right bloop in her place.
Yeah, he was trying to
I thought it was polite.
with soft tissue, like kind of get her together and just say, well, at least I know that you wanted to be married.
Right.
Right. But it was clear that his intentions was to remind her of it.
Right.
But that's not going to help him.
You don't think it's going to help him?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't care. She's going to be.
But she being a little too wild. She for the streets. Give her back.
Yeah.
Give her back to the streets.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but I think you might be right. So, Brianna and Vincent, they sit down with each other's family. I just love them. I love them. I love them. And not. Okay, let me slow down. I don't love them that much, but for this season, I love them. Okay, and that's not saying a lot, but
no,
I do. The bar is low. So Vincent sits down with Brianna's family and everything like that. And I felt like her mom was saying very pointed things and just wanting to know, like, what is he going to do with his life or whatever the case may be. But she asked him a question about what is he going to do if his plan A doesn't work out. And that bothered me because me and you had this conversation all the time. People have this idea of what work and work ethic and working hard looks like to them, when in the reality, in this day and age, it doesn't have to. We're not in the same kind of space that we once were.
No.
Where you got to work a 9 to 5. And I felt like to ask him that was a bit not antiquated. I get it, it's your daughter, but it's just like.
Oh, it was, but it's just them not being able to divorce themselves of their idea that was kind of ingrained in them, their generation's idea of what working is, what being successful is. And they have a very narrow point of view of what that looks like.
Yeah.
And I think that generation is cloaked in it. I think that it had a stranglehold on them. And I think they can't help it. I think they only know of working as punching the clock. They only know of working as 9 to 5. And if you don't got 9 to 5, then you ain't working. What are you doing? You know?
And she's an engineer, so inversely, she has a lot of, once you get to that point where you've become this engineer, you're doing whatever you do, right? She's relatively comfortable in her space and her world and her finances or whatever the case may be. And I do see how her mother could be worried about that. Like, don't get me wrong, but I felt like it's not for you to trust him in his journey.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, all you need to know.
Right. He don't got to convince you that, like,
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Like, he don't got to convince you. Like, you know what I mean? All you need to know, don't he pay his own damn bills?
Yeah.
So who is you? Like, you know what I mean? And I think that I think that we're so used to, and this is a generational thing.
It is. Correct
me if I'm wrong. Asking these stupid ass questions to grown ass people.
It is. No, 100%.
It's like passed down.
Yeah, it is.
That's a dumb ass question.
Because they thought that's what happened to them, and they thought they just doing what was inherited. This behavior of like saying this dumb stuff to adults.
It's better questions. Ask him his sign.
No, that's a better question.
That's a better question.
But I think it is what they're used to doing, and it's almost like an automatic thing, like where instead of really getting to know somebody, you coming off the top with some, a lot of the fathers of old, do that super macho stuff where it's like, you don't even know me. Ask me something about me and not
ask me about me.
What are your intentions with my daughter?
So
what does that even mean? What does that even mean? Like,
I'm gonna fuck her. Yeah.
What does that mean?
My intention is to fuck her.
Ask a real question, you get a real answer. That's not,
No, that
what is that?
But I just thought it was just like, I felt like, well, I'm very protective of my daughter. Bitch, who ain't?
Yeah.
Who ain't? She sat up underneath your heart for 10 months. So we already know what it is.
I always hated the macho man, the macho dad, the macho brother, or the macho sister saying some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm very protective of my brother. Like, the one girl said that, and it was like, okay, duh, that's your brother. Like, what does that mean? Like what does that mean for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate all the comments. Your dad has known me since I was literally a teenager. Not once has he ever asked me what my intentions with his daughter was. You know what I'm saying? He just asked me about my life. And he's asked, what am I doing? What is my, you know what I'm saying? And it's never been an interrogation. Right. It's never been, that's not how you get to know people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We have more conversations that don't involve her than we do, that do. You know what I'm saying? And that was him getting to know me. If you know me, then you know what my intentions are for her. You know what I'm saying? But for you to just ask somebody, especially something that's very easy to commercialize and give an interview answer, you know what I'm saying? Right. You give somebody some broad, dumb question like that. It's just like, I'm over it. But
I'm over it. But his sister, to your point, asked kind of like the same, like, what do you bring to the table? Bitch, she is the table. What the you do for a living?
But also, what does that mean?
Fisher Price table you bringing? You worried about my goddamn table, okay? Like, you worried about yours.
But what does that even mean? Do I list my resume? Like,
what do that even mean?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does that mean?
When she dropped that she was an engineer, I was like, that's right, baby. Let them hoes know.
But also, that's not what she brings to the table.
But my thing is, that's what she meant. That's what the joint meant. The joint meant was of like, oh, well, you ain't gonna come in here and be taking advantage, because people be thinking that somebody gonna come and spend your son's little itty bitty coins. Okay? Y'all motherfuckers don't even be having nothing, and y'all be thinking somebody gonna come through and take something from you. And that's what it is. People want to act tough. But I really am, it's the season for reminding people, okay, y'all? And I hope y'all take this with y'all. Don't ever, 8 to 80, blind, crippled, and crazy. You stand up for your mammy taking self. They say something disrespectful to you, smack a dog on his nose and push his face in the piss, okay? Because that's the only way you're going to stop it. You can't allow people to say one thing to you. And that's why I was so glad when she was like, oh, well, I went to college. Like, I'm an engineer. Because she already knew what it was. Like, you know what I mean? You slow down.
Yeah.
First of all, look at you. Your hair don't look washed. You got all this acne. And you up here wondering about what I'm bringing to the table. Clearasil, bitch.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck I'm bringing to the table. Okay? Don't you worry about me. All right? Like, I just thought that was just so, like... People really kill me, y'all. And I just want y'all, if y'all dating people, especially if you're being genuine and authentic, I'm never afraid to meet people, parents or whatever the case may be, because I'm going to be whoever the hell I am.
As you should be. And
all the time.
You should be able to also stand up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? If somebody
politely,
says you dating somebody's son or daughter doesn't give them free range to ask you anything or say anything to you. They still need to respect you as a human being and as an individual. So listen, comport yourself. Say it with your chest. Stand up for yourself. Don't let these old heads out here saying all this wild shit to you and just let it ride.
8 to 80, blind, crippled, and crazy. I checks everybody. Okay, you say something to me I don't like, I'm gonna check you right then and there. Because that's just not
okay.
But you got to teach people how to treat you, and you got to set the tone. Like whatever you thought was okay,
they can't walk all over you.
And whatever you thought was okay, asking with these other hoes, it won't be like this around
straight
here.
Up.
It just won't. So I enjoyed how she handled herself. I mean, even though I just find her to be Black Girl Magic. It's not even funny. I really do. Even though I don't like her hairstyle, but that's a personal thing because she looked good. It's just with the personal thing, but. Okay, let's move on because we are on Haley and Jacob. Haley go sit down with his old ass, dusty ass parents, and they just as boring as he. They just as boring, and she ain't even know what to do. She was just sitting there like. Now what? But her parents were just as bored with him as she was.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit nervous about them. She looked like the type that'll cheat. Respectfully.
I feel like they're headed for the same type of destruction that Virginia and Eric are. I think their lifestyles, they want two completely different things. They into completely different places.
Yeah, I'm tired of this.
And I think that they got the same expiration date that Virginia and Eric got.
I'm like all the way tired of this. So their honeymoon is in Vegas, which I thought was so underwhelming. But given that
had to be a back end deal, like Vegas had to pay,
because then they stayed at the Mandalay Bay.
The Mandalay Bay had to pay them. They must have paid them a handsome amount to get them to do their. Because I would have been pissed. Number one. First of all, we going on vacation in a pandemic, so you thought to take us to the concrete jungle of Las Vegas. Of all places, if any time, this is the time to take somebody to a secluded island or a resort. You know what I mean? So I think this had to be like a pandemic price where they paid them because Vegas is hurting right now anyway, and they probably needed the exposure, and that's probably how that happened.
You know what, though? That might not be a bad idea because they could have went anywhere.
They could have went anywhere.
They could have went to Miami. Is it with a beach? I mean, well, I don't know who wanted to be in Miami at that time.
No, not this ain't. This ain't the time to be in Florida.
Okay, I don't know who wanted to be down here, but I was a bit underwhelmed by that choice of stay.
Yeah,
and just taking it back to Chris and Paige, the stars of this show. This is low key. Chris and Paige is David Ruffin, okay? And ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody come to see you. And I feel like I'm really kind of watching it right now, and this might change. I don't know about you, but just for them.
I kind of am curious to see the dumpster fires that will be Haley and Jacob and Virginia and Eric. I think that's going to kind of be the gape or delay for me. Like, you see a terrible car wreck and you can't help but to look at it. I feel like that's why I'm also watching to see how they crash and burn. Just because I think that they were terribly matched. I don't think it's anything that they did. I don't think that either of those couples.
And somebody got to answer for that.
Somebody got to answer for that. I think Clara and Ryan are going to stay together. But it's going to be rocky, and I think Brianna and Vincent will be they will grind to a slow halt.
Well, I think that Brianna and Vincent is already real slow. I like the way that she consoled him after he got news about his.
I didn't like it. I thought that it was a little bit much. I feel like she poured it on a little bit. And only because, and this is a personal thing, I don't like fake intimacy. Like that felt like a fake intimate moment to me because you were sitting on his lap. You did the interlock fingers. This is a real intimate thing to me. This is more when you start to interlock the fingers. Y'all together. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they married.
And yeah, but they don't know each other. And I mean, that's just a different level of intimacy to me. And I just, I respect it if you say, I don't like if somebody, knows that somebody special in your life passed. It means a lot more to me if you just say something like, if you don't know me, if you just say something generic, like, you know what, I'm here if you need me. I know this is a tough time for you. It's a lot less effective if you go, yeah, I know, how you feel because I know your relationship with so-and-so and I know that was hard for like you don't know. But I'm saying, like,
I understand what you're saying, because that is
disingenuous. It was a little too like you just met this guy like yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the whole,
but
like,
you don't think you could get that kind of connected? You never met somebody and you felt that connected to them after a couple of days? Like connected, like not to
be on that tip with that was just a little bit. That was a little like, and I feel like her intentions were good.
Oh yeah,
but it would have just turned me off because it was like, I don't even know you like that for us to just be locking up and you sitting on my lap and like, have y'all ever even been like, you know what I mean? Outside of kissing at the altar, have you? I don't even know that we've seen them kiss again. You know what I mean?
Okay. I see where you're going with that, but I wanted to end this with Chris and Paige, y'all. Now, so this was my thing. Paige tells Chris that, and this might have happened earlier, but I wanted to come back to this because I thought this was like so out of line. I wanted to wrap this up with, this is why I'm really not dealing with Paige right now, and hopefully next week she's going to come back and this really going to be Chris' fault. I'm going to eat my words, right? Mm-hmm. Eat crow. But she tells him, well, I spoke to a bunch of my male friends and asked them, like, would you even have sex with a woman that would you have sex with a woman that you don't desire? Like, I don't understand why she can't believe that he don't like like, I really don't. And I thought that was, but I'm telling that story because so ridiculous. I thought that was so out of line. Like, I thought that was so out of line.
But how the uberous of you to think that you're gonna prove away somebody's affection
by talking to other motherfuckers.
What does that mean? If you talk to, first of all, if she talked to 10 dudes and 10 dudes said no, you found 10 liars. That's number one.
Cause boom ain't nothing but meat on the bone.
But even if you did talk to 10 people and 10 people said, yeah, no, that was crazy. You bringing it back to him is not gonna make him go, you know what, you right. I'm gonna feel how they feel now. Like, you're not gonna litigate somebody's feelings. You're not gonna litigate. So you coming back to somebody and telling them all these other people how they feel. It's not gonna do anything for your relationship or anything to change how he feels about you. But this is an insecurity thing where it's an immaturity thing. It's super immature because you are not going to make him be more attracted to you by making him feel like him being unattracted to you is just asinine. And he's the crazy one.
Yeah, that ain't the way to do it.
It's not.
And I wanted to come back to this because I feel like this is a self-worth conversation. The real tea is that you're litigating this because you know he don't like you. You know what I mean? So you looking for any avenue to be proven wrong for you. This really ain't got nothing to do with it.
But misery loves company. You also want to hear a bunch of people in your ear and in your comments talking about, yeah, he crazy. You fly, girl.
Exactly.
You just want to be. I'm not doing it. Sorry. You ain't gonna get it from here.
I'm not gonna do it.
Because this is part of the process. When you sign up to marry a complete stranger, you're taking the risk that this person is just not going to be attracted to you. So for this to just be so wild to you that you need to prove him crazy to the rest of the world and your little bubble and all your girlfriends, that's whack to me, because that's a part of the process and you're an adult. So you signed up for the good and the bad that came with it.
And take your wig off when you go to sleep. Like, how do you hoes go to sleep with men?
Like you do.
You know what is so weird to me? She didn't even wrap it up.
That's probably why it looked like it looked.
She ain't even. But my thing is, like, I'm not saying take your wig off. I got a lot of girlfriends, and y'all know who y'all are, who tell me all the time that they sleep in their wigs, and I do not understand it because he know I'm gonna snatch this thing right off because I got the cook and all that. So I feel so not bad for y'all that y'all can't be y'all in your most natural state around these people, because on the other hand, I understand you just want to look for your spouse. And
yeah, and that's okay.
And that's okay. However, take your wigs off. Because if you don't look good to your spouse without your wig on,
that's a different conversation.
Is it though?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, if I snatch my wig off, I know sometimes Joe does get excited if I like beat my face and do my hair. He like, oh my God, like he hasn't seen.
No, I don't care.
You do get like a little bit like, oh, you look so pretty.
No, I always think that.
No,
I think
I'm
for
telling
me,
you the truth.
I tell you, I really don't care if you put makeup on or not. You know what I'm saying?
But
I like
you don't
your
like
fresh.
when I
I
walk
like
around
your
with my
fresh
Meek
natural
Mill braids though.
Now that's a no. It is. It's not that I don't like it. I'm just talking to you, comparing and contrasting my excitement. I like the 18-inch. I like I always love the girly girl side of you. So that's what the excitement is not because I don't like whenever you're in your natural state. The excitement is I love when you get all girly and fairy like. I love it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
I'm saying all that to say, y'all, in 2021, take your wig off in front of these mother jumpers, okay? Because they funny looking too, sis. Like, don't you feel no kind of way. If you high up under there, snatch it off. Throw it on the side. You know what I mean? Because when you gonna get you a real one who tell you, take your wig off, babe. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, oops, sorry. Like, take your wig off. You gonna get you a real one that do that. And I felt like her going to sleep with the wig on. I know I'm going back, but these are the things that really stuck out to me. Well, she went to sleep with the wig on, but with the thing. You remember the jewelry thing?
The tiara. But if the wig looks like that on, what's under the wig cannot be a pretty sight.
She probably got hair down her back, y'all.
It probably can't be a pretty sight.
She probably got hair down her back. It be those ones. Like, she probably got hair down her back, and she just, unfortunately, maybe feel a way about that as well. But I just felt like the way she handled this particular situation was just not okay. Like, y'all gotta also know that poom poom ain't nothing but meat on the bone, and you hoes is out here giving out 2 piece and a biscuit to any motherfucker who smile at y'all, and that's just not hot. Like, it's not hot. He literally sat in front of everybody and told them you was unattractive. And he couldn't understand it. He went and cried about it. Yeah. The mother jumper said he had a panic attack because he didn't feel like he was attracted to you, and you want to kiss him in the mouth and do. He would have to come. I'm really praying for y'all. Like, I really am. Like, I'm praying for y'all. I'm praying y'all pick up a Beyonce CD or a CD.
But this is about having a lack of solid, wholesome, real girlfriends.
It ain't about friends. It's about her, bro.
She ain't got friends. She ain't got girlfriends. It's about her. Because she need good girlfriends to help her, you know what I'm saying, get her life. Because a real girlfriend would have said, nah, sis, you can't go on to national TV like that. You know what I mean?
But not if some girlfriends aren't, like, everybody don't have, like, these crazy aesthetically pleasing.
They don't gotta be. But they gonna look out for you. Your real friend ain't gotta be a fashionista to look out for you and be like, nah, we gonna make sure you right when you out here, when you meet your man. You know what I mean? Make sure.
Even though I don't know that any of those things would have changed him.
They wouldn't have. But
because some people were saying that they think this is a colorist issue.
It's not.
But
we
his
gotta leave the colorist thing.
Like me.
It's
I
not,
don't know that I believe
it's not a colorist thing. And I think that's a cop-out. Let's stop trying to save this woman from actually being held responsible for the things that she has done. And I'm talking about how she has presented herself in this situation. I'm not talking about her personality. She's a beautiful person and all of that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. But again, if her name was Ronald, we would be holding him accountable for looking disheveled in a mess.
But how about
you know what I mean? So it's not a color. That's a cop out thing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it's so many issues with this whole thing. But then she said, how could he surmise that he is unattracted to me and we've only known each other for 12 hours? You surmised that you wanted to bust down on him in 12 hours.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. How can you say that and you literally slept with the human being and then turn around and say, how could he even know if he like?
And that's going. We got to stop. We looking for excuses. That's it's
I'm
something.
Praying for y'all.
Next you gonna hear, he must be gay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, listen. She looks a mess to me, and I love brown girls. You know what I'm saying? the real brown girls. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying she looks a mess. It don't got nothing to do with her skin and all of that. You know what I'm saying? My whole family brown. That's my, you know what I'm saying? So this idea that we got to stop making excuses like it's him and it's the color of her skin because his fiance was light skin. His fiance was fine, number one.
Fine what? Like fine how?
Like she was fine. She was fine. And when you see her, you 100% get why he is not into her, and it don't got nothing to do with the skin, because her fiance is put together.
Yeah, and just a little bit, like from what I could see, lighter than me.
Yeah, she not even that light. She not even high yellow.
She's not.
But people will look for a reason to change the conversation and take it into another direction. And we not divert from her wig.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Joe has been on his Sherlock Holmes, and he been out here. So I don't know. I want to apologize to all his ex-girlfriends, anybody he done looked up and did recognizance on the research.
Because I know a lot of information.
It was very creepy. I'm like, what? And he wouldn't even talk to me. Like going through and looking at people Pinterest and all this stuff.
I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna tell you, you heard it here. I'm gonna give you confirmation. The ex-girlfriend, the fiance is pregnant. 100%. I don't care what you read, what you heard, on some other YouTube videos. She's pregnant for sure. We can get into how I know that in the next video. Tune in next week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I just want to leave you guys with one thing. It is the power of the PUSSY, y'all. Y'all better get with it, okay? You don't know that Jay-Z song? I don't know what she's talking about.
He don't listen. We love y'all. Thank you so much for joining us again. Bust down. Tell us how you felt about this episode. Are you Team Chris or Team Paige? Let us know. And we'll see you beautiful mugs later. Bye.